Oh no. I forgot to switch that one too. I switched the other one, but I forgot to switch that. Anyway, welcome to an evening edition of the Rational American, also known as the Night Crew, also known as We're Fed Up and We're Not Going to Take It Anymore. If any of you guys didn't watch my video earlier today, I suggest you do it. And if you want to see like just how quickly someone's mind changes based on current events, watch my video last night or yesterday during the day, then watch my earlier video. And you're going to see a drastic 180-degree turn in what's happening across the country, in at least how I perceive it. And my opinion is very, very firm now on what we all have to do, okay? So if you live under a rock, right, and you don't have any presence whatsoever on social media, you may not know that Donald Trump announced this morning that he is apparently he is going to be arrested on Tuesday morning. And this all has to do with the New York City Alvin Bragg, Soros-funded DA that is charging him for some old 2016 hush payments to porn star Stormy Daniels. Now, and I'm going to explain everything because a lot of people are asking about statute of limitations and all that, and there's a very simple explanation about that. So this is what's going on. So apparently there's been a grand jury convened for quite some time, and the grand jury has enough evidence that they invited Donald Trump to come testify in front of the grand jury, which is required by state law in New York, that the person who is the target of the investigation, right, usually they do it at the end, that person must be given the right to testify in front of the grand jury on his own behalf at that point. Donald Trump apparently got that offer last week. Then news broke on Friday, yesterday, and Fox News was one of the news outlets that broke it, that the New York attorney, Alvin Bragg, was meeting with FBI, with Secret Service, with ATF, with New York City Police Department. He was meeting with all these officials in order to plan for the arrest and charging of Donald Trump in what we thought could come in a matter of weeks, right? I didn't think it was going to be this soon at all. Then Donald Trump this morning tweeted out on Truth Social that he is, in fact, going to be arrested on Tuesday, which is not surprising. A lot of people are saying, well, how does he know he's going to be arrested? Donald Trump has 24/7 Secret Service protection. There is no way that he wouldn't, especially because he's a former president of the United States. There is no way that he isn't notified that that the grand jury did indict him and that he's going to be charged for these crimes. There is no way. So essentially what has happened is Donald Trump has said that his arrest date, he's been notified apparently that his arrest date is going to be Tuesday at some point. Someone said your video's lagging. If your video's lagging, I can't do it. Please don't type it in the chat anymore because I can't fix it. It's on your end, not mine. But that's that. The interesting thing, and so for anyone that watched my video yesterday, I wasn't on the fence. I was pretty dead set in the fact that I didn't think that Donald Trump would be the best candidate for America going forward, right? He has too much baggage. That's the thing I said. No matter how much good we all know Donald Trump would do as president, no matter how much we all know he would be doing fine as president, just the sheer amount of baggage that he has, the sheer amount of hate towards Donald Trump would be overwhelming, and nothing that he accomplishes in the White House would ever be able to make it to the world. Nobody would be able to pay attention. And then today happened. And I literally went to bed feeling the same way, hoping that my conversation yesterday would change, would affect some people, right? Then this morning, I'm sitting there drinking my coffee, and I see the True Social tweet from Donald Trump saying that he's going to be arrested on Tuesday. And instantly, I felt anger. I truly felt anger for it. And I'm sitting there drinking coffee with my wife, and we start talking about it, and I run through the scenario with her. Again, we don't really talk about politics. We certainly don't talk about Donald Trump. We don't talk about anything like that in the house anymore because we're on polar opposite directions in terms of politics. And I start talking about the Stormy Daniels stuff. I tell her about that. I tell her about that they are now going to indict him and all this stuff. And then the news started carrying Donald Trump's thing. And then my wife said something that really changed my outlook on the whole thing. Because she said, I agree, it's messed up. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. You agree it's messed up when they're trying to target Donald Trump? And that caused me to think about more things. It caused me to think about, wait a second. If they are going, like, we know they've been going hard for Donald Trump with the indictments, with the, the special grand juries. Remember that loony girl from Georgia and for the Georgia grand jury? There's all sorts of stuff, right, that's been going on. The impeachment trials, the January 6th hearing, the little constant, every time he says one thing, they clip it, they cut it, they put out a separate narrative completely contrary to what he actually said. And they have a pattern of doing it since before he even took the White House. And we all know that. And I always just thought it was just because they have an intense hatred for the man. I don't believe so anymore. I don't believe that it is. I don't think it's Trump derangement syndrome or any. I don't think they just truly hate the person. I believe the powers that be, the Republicans, the Democrats, the elites, the media, the reason that they're doing this is because they don't want anything screwing up their path to the America that they want to command all of us to have. And I know I'm going out on a limb here, but bear with me. Donald Trump has a vision, right? If you think of terms of political power, you don't, and you're probably never going to, have the most political power in the White House. If Donald Trump was truly seeking out to be the president of the United States again, then you would think that and you could make the Democrat argument, he wants to be president because he wants power. You don't have that kind of power there. And for anyone that needs a case in point about, has George Soros ever been president of the United States? But he is the most influential person in left-wing politics in the world. George Soros. You know why? Because he just puts money behind candidates. He invests people. He puts politicians and DAs and all the people. He puts money behind, different trade organizations and different political PACs and shadow PACs. That's what George Soros does. He is the puppet master of the left. If Donald Trump truly cared about power and that was all he wanted was sheer political power, then that's what he would be doing. He'd be doing that on the right. And he is poised to do it at any moment. With the Save America rally, with the massive amount of money, with the rallies that he puts on and all that stuff. That could carry on for years and years and years. Legacy, leave it down to John Jr. Don Jr. could do the same thing if they wanted that type of power. That's not what he wants. He wants to fundamentally impact America. And I truly 100% believe this now, that he truly wants to make America great again. He wants to make this country the country that it should be, the America that we all deserve as a people. Democrat, Republican, F all that stuff. No, an America that's prosperous, in America that's successful, in America we're proud to leave our children. And I firmly believe the reason why they are continuously going after this man is because they know he can do it. And they know he will fight against the rhinos. He will fight against the conservative base. He will fight against Democrats. He will fight against, the infrastructure and the elites. He'll fight against the Amazons and the Walmarts. He'll fight against everybody that steps in his way in an effort to try to make America a prosperous, strong place that it could be. And I'll be honest, I didn't come to that realization until I saw this tweet and until my wife said what she said this morning. I did not see it like that. I thought the same way the left does, that he just wants power. He wants to be president. And I said it yesterday because I'm like, there's things that he said, his social media, Bill of Rights, all of those things he could have did before. But then I really started thinking about it. This guy has gone through 2 impeachment trials to be acquitted by the Senate. He's getting indicted now, apparently. He's going to be arrested. They're not going to put handcuffs on him, let's be honest. He's going to go through this whole process. He's going to go through a whole nother month or 2 months of media just constantly berating him, talking shit about him constantly. He's going to do it again. Why would someone keep doing this? Isn't the definition of doing the same thing over and over and over and getting hit in the head? Isn't that insanity, right? You can argue he's insane. He's insane for the country. He wants the country to be successful and prosperous. And I don't believe it's a far cry to believe that he is not as right-wing as some of the other political candidates out there. He is not as conservative, or he doesn't hold all the same values that all the people on the right do. But the people on the left they weren't even allowed to see that. The general American population wasn't allowed to see that because we've all been played as pawns in a chess game, right? We all have. You, me, everybody else, even the people that supported Donald Trump. We still overlook some of the negative qualities or the negative political characteristics that we see. We overlook those because we're like, oh, he's conservative. You know what I mean? Some of his liberal views, some of the things that he's done. And we overlook those, right? We don't even think about them. We just move on and say, well, he believes in this and this and this. The Democrats, they don't care about any of that. The only thing that they care, and it's not just the Democrats. I got to stop saying that. Because the thing that everybody has to realize is that what I truly believe is that we're not fighting for conservatives to win or to beat Democrats. I firmly believe right now we are fighting for Americans to beat everybody, to beat Democrats, to beat Republicans, to beat media, to beat everybody, and to build an America that is prosperous, that we are proud to leave our kids. And everyone has to understand, guys, this isn't an America that is just based on conservative ideals. It's not. It's never going to be. People have to stop thinking about that. They have to stop being like, oh, we need to just completely eradicate left-wing ideology. We have to completely eradicate. No, because that's not America. That's not what America's found on. That's not what America's supposed to be. America's supposed to be a land where everybody can prosper. Even if you have different political ideology, America's supposed to be the place where you can control your own destiny. And I really only believe that there is one person that can do that at this moment. And I'll tell you what, yesterday, I said Ron DeSantis may be a better candidate, but nobody's really sure. I know now that's not true. You know how I know that's not true? Ron DeSantis hasn't even come out and made a comment about the charging of Donald Trump. He hasn't made a comment about Donald Trump allegedly being arrested. He hasn't made a comment about any of that. How can the guy that we all were like, oh, he's a fighter. He goes out there. He's really caring about American people, American policy and all that stuff, not comment on something as big as this all day long? Not at all. The only one is the other business guy from California, or wherever the hell he's from. He's the only other politician that talks about it. When I vote, I don't vote based on political party. I vote for what's best for this country and who the best person is. And I'll go so far because earlier today I really offended a lot of people that were watching because everyone was talking about Civil War. Everyone was talking about this, that, right? Everybody was talking about that and saying this is what they want. They want violent protests, all blah, blah, blah. And I said, listen, if you are saying that this is the end, if you are saying Civil War is the only path, then you are anti-American. You are being the literal definition of un-American. You are doing what the Iranians do when they chant F America, because what they want is they want to see America fail. If you advocate for civil war in America, guess what? You're advocating for America to fail in the ideals that we do and that we want and that we need and we lust for. You know what I mean? And that's the truth. And people have to realize that. People have to realize you got to stop going out here and saying Civil War. We got to gear up. We got to no. The only people that are doing that are people that don't care about this country and don't want this country to succeed, or they're doing it deliberately in an effort to circumvent everything else that's going on and push a particular narrative, which is the same thing that the left and the right in concert have been doing against Donald Trump for so long. Anybody who wants to pretend like this isn't, it's not Donald Trump versus Democrats, guys. It's Donald Trump versus establishment. Establishment is everything. It's media, it's big business, it's everything. That's what Donald Trump is against, which is for only, if you look at it as a whole like that, the only negative to it is it will put an end to these big established, and it's not a negative for the American people. The positive to the American people, think about this. You end the big establishment media, right? What do you get? Real news, real journalism, real content, real news that you can consume every day and have a fundamental understanding of what's actually happening. You get rid of all these big businesses. What happens? Rates come down. Everything works. You get rid of big regulation and government regulation. You get rid of big wars. You get rid of the war lobby. Holy crap, what happens when that all happens? America starts prospering. And nobody can say that. Nobody can say that it's not going to do that. If you eliminate those restrictions, Americans will prosper. If you put America first with the America First ideology, Americans will prosper everywhere, across the board. You know what I mean? And it's crazy when you think about it. I was saying, and I said earlier today in response to all the people that are like, Civil War, you can't talk with liberals, this and that. Well, I'm going to tell you a story right now. I'm going to tell you a story about talking to a liberal. And granted, I've talked to her for 17 years, so we're married. But she has never voted Republican. She hates Donald Trump, and you guys all know this. So today we're having a conversation, and granted, she wasn't really in it, so I was really soft-toeing around. I wasn't really trying to, start a fight, which is usually what happens when we talk about politics. I started being quiet and, whispering and, being all nice and cuddly and stuff. Not really cuddly at all, because I don't cuddle, even with her. I don't cuddle. But I said, listen, why don't you like Donald Trump? It's because of the education, right? Betsy DeVos, right? Why didn't you like Betsy DeVos? Well, she had no educational background. Good. She shouldn't have been the director of Department of Education. She shouldn't have been. I said, to be honest, we should abolish the federalized Department of Education and leave it up to states. Wouldn't you agree? And she says, yes. And she's like, maybe standardization and funding, but get rid of the Department of Education. And I was like, whoa, that's weird, because that's not a democratic view, that we would get rid of the Department of Education on the federal level and have states actually control their educational systems. And she said, well, you can't do that because of federal funding. And I'm like, there's other ways around that. And I said, what would you do? And I said, hypothetically, I'm like, you think about it honestly and tell me how you would vote. Say you didn't have to pay attention, or you just weren't going to pay attention to Donald Trump's personal characteristics, right? Because let's be honest, those are big hiccups for some people. The comments he's made, whether they're false or whether they're truthful and they get taken out of context, or whether they're just abrasive and people don't like them and they rub people the wrong way, because let's be honest, we've all heard that from Donald Trump. Take away all that stuff and don't pay attention to that, and actually vote for America. Don't vote for yourself. Vote for America. When you cast that vote, that's what it's supposed to be. You're not supposed to be voting for who's going to make your life better for the next 4 years. You're supposed to be who you're voting for that's going to make life better. Not your life, life in general, for everybody for the next 4 years. It's an interesting thing when you actually think about voting like that. It's quite interesting. But anyway, I digress. So I was asking her, and I said, listen, if Donald Trump, if that's your one major complaint, and I said, if Donald Trump announced today that he is going to be tapping the most highly direct, like a 70-year-old ex-superintendent that's been teaching for 50 years and run school boards and has extremely high success rates on going in schools that are bad and pumping them up so they're doing really well on test scores and schools are happy and high graduation rates. If Donald Trump put a person like that truly knows the educational system top to bottom and put them in charge of the Department of Education, made a pledge to do that, would he have your vote? And you know what her answer was? Do you know what her answer was when you put it all like that? It was probably. And I said, well, damn. Well, damn. And I said, well, see, we're on to something there. Because if just me talking about, and granted, I have no power over who Donald Trump does put into those kind of roles. But here's the difference. And guys, let's be honest. He put Betsy DeVos in there because she was a huge Republican donor. She had no business being in education at all. She pushed charter schools left and right. If you put people in power that know the job, they're going to do the job correctly. If, like, for example, Elaine Chao, granted, she wasn't a great person in general. Mitch McConnell's wife, you know, she was in charge of the Department of Transportation under Donald Trump. She had a fucking lifetime of shipping, NVOCC, freight knowledge that she worked with. Ray Martinez, who was in charge of the FMCSA, has cardinal knowledge of the trucking industry. There's a difference. Even though there were hiccups with trucking industry, even though rates still, all the same problems that happened with the industry, we didn't we didn't have these major conflicts that we do now. Pete Buttigieg is now the Department of Transportation Secretary, and he has no knowledge whatsoever of transportation. They put in something, Marcy Joshi or something like that, to run the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. She has no knowledge of trucking. The problem with federal government right now is that the people that come into office, the president, and when they put all these people in power, they don't know enough about it. And so what it happens is people don't pay attention. They don't want to, because people keep butchering everything. You know, and I just wish, like Donald Trump, like if you're watching this video, you don't have to tweet or anything because I know you're back on YouTube now. But dude, talk to Americans on who they think would be good candidates to put in these cabinet level positions. Because it would be so freaking easy. Can you imagine flipping the entire teachers union by calling up, what's her face? The moron that's head of the teachers union as a Republican? Can you imagine the headlines that would break? The headlines, if you call up the head of the teachers union and say, listen, I want to bring you into conversations and help and bring you into the selection of who could potentially be the next Department of Education secretary. They could do that. I don't know why politicians don't do that. They could do that so easily and include the unions. And then the unions feel like you have a stake with Republicans that are saying something that does make sense. What? And I know it works because I talked to a lifelong Democrat, and she said she would probably vote if the person that was running Department of Education actually cared and knew about education. Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth. And the problem is, God, if April, if you're on Facebook, get Summer Lee Sims. Can you delete your comment, please? Now? Like, I don't want to block you, so delete your comment. Otherwise, I'm going to go back and block your comment. We don't do the name calling in the chat. We don't do that, especially not the C word. We don't do any of that stuff in the chat, all right? Please. To each other, it's just dumb. I don't want that. Because here's the thing. I am on this new quest to unify Americans to pay attention to what's actually going on. That's all I want to do. I want people to understand who they're casting votes for. To be honest, I don't know how to do it, but that's what I want. I want as many people in the world to listen to my rants about politics and a level-headed rant like this, right? A level one. But they hear what is really going on, and they hear it from a different perspective. Not all conservatives are batshit out there crazy. Okay, and not all liberals are batshit crazy liberals. Cam Miller, you keep typing the same comment over there saying stop believing Alvin Bragg. I don't know what you're talking about. But you don't need to type the same comment 15 times. It's not helpful. Stop believing Alvin Bragg about what? To be honest, Alvin Bragg hasn't made a public statement about this whole thing. So nobody is believing Alvin Bragg. If anything, the only thing you're believing is Alvin Bragg's silence, because he hasn't come out publicly and said they're charging him. He hasn't done anything. The person who says that he is getting arrested is Donald Trump. I just whispered, like Joe Biden. But that's the truth. You know, someone said, come on, man, I was union my whole life and the head is a total S-bag. Yeah, that could be truthful as well. But again, people have to talk. People have to work. People have to work together. And that's what has to happen. And that's it. You guys got to stop thinking that this is just a conservative America, or that only conservative ideals are what build America, or could build America to be the best place, because I'll be honest with you, it won't. Do you know why? Because half of the country won't like it. The goal is to get to a country where we can be manageable and we can live together and we can prosper as a country as a whole. You know, I don't even want to say I'm a conservative anymore. I want to say I'm an American, because that's what it is. I care more about America than I care about anything else. I don't care about these liberal talking points. I don't care about Republican talking points anymore. I only care about America and working towards getting to a place where people actually do as well. You know? And that's the truth. That's the truth. For so long, people like Like you see now, everybody takes the statements where he says protest. You know, it's funny because if you ask a liberal what protesting means, protesting to a liberal means going out, holding up signs, protesting for what you believe in. Unless you're a conservative. If a conservative protests, according to liberals, it's violence, it's white supremacy, it's all this stuff. We have to stop that. We have to, you know, cut that out. And not that we're doing anything. We have to fight against that narrative before we try to tackle anything else. Go out there, bring back flag waves. Like when Donald Trump was president, people used to do flag waves all over the country. People used to be proud to hold up the American flag and wave it. They don't anymore. And it's annoying, dude. It's so frustrating to me that now Donald Trump says protest and people say it's a call for violence. It's inciting violence. There's one tweet that if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen. Those Fred Wellman guy, super leftist liberal. I don't know why I follow him. But probably because he's a veteran. I respect that aspect of him, no other aspect. But he tweeted out that it was an incitement of violence and the feds must arrest Donald Trump for that incitement of violence. And I went back and I found a tweet of his that, based on his own definition, would have been an incitement of violence. Would it or would it have not? Let me find this tweet. And you guys, based on his own definition, because that's what the craziest thing is people look at, there's this weird double standard. And it's so frustrating to me. Yeah, like, look here. I'll put it up on the screen so you can see. Once I get situated here. Look, right here, Fred Wellman. He said he's calling for violence. Will he take it seriously this time? Because Donald Trump said protest? Protest, take our nation back? That's a call for violence? I thought it was interesting. Because I tweeted this out. This is his tweet from almost a year ago, or just over a year ago. Get in the fight. If you think you're living in an autocracy, or even more terrifying, a theocracy, then be more comfortable or make your pocketbook safer. You're a fool. Show up, attend meetings, protest, vote, get in the damn fight before there's nothing left to fight for. Rant complete, he says. For some reason, when Democrats say something like that, it's not violence. But when conservatives say it, it's violence. What people have to do if you do choose to go to New York City, which I don't necessarily advocate anybody do on Tuesday. But if you do choose to go, don't engage with anybody else. If the cops ask you to move. When Antifa shows up, which they will, don't fucking engage, whatever. They attack you, defend yourself, but don't do what the figurehead Trump supporters that are always the ones that are representation of everybody else do by saying stupid stuff, trying to burn DeSantis's flags and stuff like that. No, that's not American. It's not. Be American. Be proud. Respect this country. Respect other people. Respect the opposing political party. And that's what it is. And do this. Talk. When someone comes up screaming, how do you support Trump? Say, why don't you? And then when they list their facts, then that's how you can do it. They'll say, well, I don't support Trump because he's a racist. Can you explain how? Well, he said Mexicans that came over the border. That's not what he said. And be ready. Have it on your phone, the entirety of the clip, so you can just be like, actually, what he said that day was this. Or if he said, oh, he called our veterans losers and suckers. Actually, every single person that was with him, 18 people that day that were with him, all went to the press and said it never happened. The only people that are reporting that are left-wing news. That's it. Nobody else reported that. None of the people that were with him that day reported it. Nobody else. So why do you believe it? Because the media told you. Look at the facts. The facts don't say it. We can change the course of this by actually talking to people. We can. And I know it sounds stupid. That is it. That literally by doing that, it's just by talking to people. He said the white supremacists at Charlottesville were all good people on both sides. No, he didn't. He said there are good people on both sides except for the white supremacists, which he denounces completely. That is what he said. The media clipped it out. Play it. Play it for him. Get the news articles that actually show the full clip. Put that out there and show people, change them. When they talk about his policies, oh, he's mean to black people. Actually, look at the economic policies that Trump instituted and look how black people prospered. Look at crime in cities. It went down. Look at all those facts. And people can do it. If you want to protest, that is how you protest. That is how you affect change. That's the only way we're going to be able to affect change is by talking to people. And you don't need to get them to agree. You don't need to get them to agree. The only thing you need to do is get them to understand. That's it. Is just get them to understand. I think I'm literally going to make shirts that say, ask me about Trump. And that's it. And I'm going to, I don't know, I'll give them away for free or whatever. Because, and I want people that want to wear those shirts and can give honest, concise answers. Man, that should be the name of Political Action Committee. Ask me about Trump. Or ask me about America, because that's what it should be. Or something like that, because it's not just about Trump. Because in all reality, Trump is the one that's being attacked left and right now. He's the one that's not, that's the truth. Because that's what people should do. You should encourage people to talk to you about it. It shouldn't be a vilifying thing for someone to talk about Trump, and you shouldn't be vilified because you're talking about Trump or you're a Trump supporter, and you certainly shouldn't hide in the shadows anymore. I was trying to find the main reason why teachers because a lot of teachers disagreed. 70 or 66% of teachers disagreed with Trump, didn't like Trump, and wouldn't vote for Trump. And I wanted to find out why. So I tried to go through all these Reddit channels and forums and everything on why teachers disagreed with Trump and what policies in particular. Couldn't find them. It was just Trump in general, his tweets, his comments like that. That's what it was. But you have to understand that a lot of those tweets, a lot of those things that he said were taken way out of context by media. Because again, media was corroborating. Why? The only thing I could surmise to this point, it's not because he made headlines or he made money for these companies. No, the only reason I think the media was culpable in this whole thing is because they also know that if Donald Trump was to continue on his path at just sheer, like, F you, I'm the president, we're going to effect this change, the media wouldn't have been able to be prosperous like they were. And that's it. And I firmly believe people have to talk to people. And I'll be honest, earlier today, I was really, really, really critical of people that were saying, oh, lefties don't listen and stuff. You know what that is? That's a defeatist attitude. That is someone who's giving up and saying, well, they won't talk to me, so I'm just not going to talk. That's a defeatist attitude. And we don't need any more defeatist attitude. That's how we got to where we are right now. Do you not understand that? By having a defeatist attitude and not curbing this quickly. When people, I should have did this 2 years ago. You know, when people are out there talking about Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, and to say, listen, real calm and cool and collect and say, listen, come talk to me. If you're on protest lines and it's kind of protest, say, come talk. You know what I mean? Come talk. Let's have a conversation. And if they don't want to talk, you say, all right, but when you're ready, here's a card or something like that. Because you can debunk it. You can change everything. And that's all people have to do. You just have to listen. And again, and tell people, I'm not trying to get you to agree with me. You can, if you listen to what I have to say and you just can't get over the fact that you don't like the person and that's why you're not voting, but don't blame on you're not voting or you're not liking him based on his policies, because you can't name policies that you dislike. Don't say it's because of his economic record, because you can't do that. And certainly don't say it was because to be honest, a lot of teachers were mad at Donald Trump because he reopened schools. Not because he kept them closed or anything. It's how he handled COVID. That's the main reason. It wasn't because of policy making or anything like that. And that's the truth. You know, and I think a lot of you guys understand that. You know, a lot of you guys understand that. And a lot of people got offended by my comments about the defeatist attitude. That's what it is. That's what it is. If you just give up and you're not willing to keep going out, and yeah, you may hit, you know, it's like making cold calls. Like if you ever worked in sales, any of you guys that ever work in sales, every single call, do you get someone to buy? Every 10 calls, do you get someone to buy? 100 calls maybe? No, you got to make hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of calls before you get that sale, before you get that one person to listen. And it sucks. And you feel defeated. But you know what? You keep doing it. And you break records with the amount of calls you do every day. And guess what? Instead of sales, instead of making a monetary value, you know what you're doing? Do you know what you're doing? You're opening up someone. You're opening up a voter, and that voter may say, you know what? Fuck this. I remember that one guy that called, and he had facts. And he backed it up. He said, here's a liberal news article and that's one way to really make minds explode. Find liberal news outlets, find Washington Post articles that back up the points that you're trying to make, because they have to, they're media. They will convolute it in all sorts of weird things, or they'll write an article about the truth and then put out 10 articles to bury that one, saying other things, but you can do it. There are ways to do it. And I think that is going to be what I'm going to spend the next 2 years doing. I'll be honest, because I have to do something. And short of running for office and getting divorced, I don't know if I'm not willing to do that. So I have to do something. So I'm going to just try to talk to as many people as possible. And I encourage all of you guys to do it too. All of you. I'm going to start by going to a Trump rally. You know why I'm going to go to a Trump rally? My goal isn't to go to the Trump rally to hear all the great things about Donald Trump. No, my goal is to go and talk to people about why they want to vote for Trump. And what they think about Democrats, right? What they think about independents, and truly do that and figure out what the difference is. Because here's the thing, you can't just solve the left, because you have to solve the right too. We have this immense feeling of hatred for the other political party now because of everything that's been going on for 2 years. That's the truth. So it's not just liberals and Democrats that we have to educate. It's not. It's conservatives as well, as getting them to the understanding that America is made up of people. It's not made up of Republicans and Democrats. It's made up of people, individuals. And the country is not built on just conservative ideals. It's not going to be built just on Democrat ideals. It's going to be built on a mixture of both, which is why the country will be successful in the long run. And that's the truth. And people have to pay attention. And so Doc Venom said, one side wants to groom kids. Like, listen, I'll be honest. The reason why that's in the news and the reason why everybody is talking about the grooming kids thing is because all of these conservative talking heads that need the views, that need you to come back and listen, that need you to get all riled up so they promote their shit. They are the ones that promote that over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know what we used to do in America when something pissed us off? We acted. We didn't talk about it. The left then counters it. And the left essentially has a defense to everything we do because we announce it by yelling about it. You want to ban transgender athletes from competing in the opposite sex? Put the laws through. Don't sit there and have conversations about it. Let the Senate legislatures do that. People have to stop doing it. I'm not going to talk about that shit. Those are all detractions. That's firmly what I believe. Those are all distractions and detractions from the actual mission on making America prosperous. All these people that are like, trans this, trans that, CRT this, blah, blah. No, it doesn't matter. We should be pushing for a system where we're funding students and not schools. That eliminates the CRT talk, because then if there is a school that's teaching that shit, your kid's not going there. Your kid can pick the school that they go to. I don't know how that would work. I was talking about that with my wife. She also likes the idea of funding students and not schools, but there's no way to have it actually happen. Do you know what I mean? That's what we figured out. There's no way to have it happen. But then again, your schools all have the same budget. Therefore, you could hire more teachers and all that stuff. If you want to affect and you want to have good schools, fucking load them with money. Federal tax dollars, pay teachers what they're worth, which is a lot more than what they currently get, and do that. And that's it. I'm not like, guys, this is not going to be one of the Jack Posobiec channels. Okay, that guy's a Fed anyway. I firmly believe that after today. It's not going to be that thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to go down that road of continuously going. Not everything that you see is about grooming. And to be honest, the amount of books that are in schools, and here's a good example, right? My wife's an English teacher. She's been an English teacher. She had to remove a few books under Democrat leadership when Democrats were pushing book bans and stuff back in the 2000 or 2020, 2019, 2020. She had to remove a couple of books. I think it was 2 or 3 books that she had to remove. Since conservatives took office and since she is working up here in a conservative state, she's had to remove like 15, 20 books because of conservatives, not Democrats. Because of conservatives. because conservatives are now going in and taking books, and they're not the books that you're seeing, in DeSantis's press conference that don't even have barcodes, so they're not even indexed by the library. Those are not those books. No. I'm never going to back that because I don't believe it. Okay, everyone said, I see it with my own eyes. No, you haven't. Name a title of a book that you actually know was in your school library, because you can't. Because it's not happening. It's happening in left-wing schools where a left-wing radical purple-haired moron takes a book, puts it in a library, and then just to cause the conflict to get, publicity for it. That's what it is. Someone said, I guess you guys didn't like my comments about Jack. I don't like Jack Posobiec, or however you say his last name. I don't trust the guy. And I'm sorry. I was having a conversation about it before with somebody else. I just don't know. I can't put my finger on it. I think he is one of the biggest. Like, he's out here saying, oh, run on banks, do this, day of, blahs, truckers must stop. He's doing all that shit on social. Come on, bro. Because then when the banks continue to tumble like they have been for the past couple of days, he could be like, look, we did it. Trucks are not going to stop. Rates are too low. They're barely able to stay open now. They're not going to pull over. Their fees are still going through the roof. The guy is disconnected from reality, and for him to advocate for people to go out en masse and do all this stuff, I don't understand it. I don't think it's patriotic. And the only thing I could assume, based on some of the other stuff he's tweeted out, is that I just don't trust him. And that is my personal belief. That is it, and that's my belief, okay? You are not entitled to criticize my belief and say, well, your belief is wrong. No, you could say, I disagree with your belief, and I believe him for this and this and this reason. That's fine. Okay, but that's my belief. I just don't trust the guy. I think he's up to other shit. I think other people are pulling his strings, and I don't think it's people on the Conservative Party. And I've thought that for a long time, and I've said that before. I think a lot of people right now are showing their true colors across social media, and I think it's quite telling. If you look at the majority of the people are out there saying protest. Protesting isn't just going out, marching on the street, and blocking traffic and doing all that. No, that's their definition of protest. You know what my protest is? It's going to be educating people. It's going to be talking to people about stuff. I own a fucking coffee shop. If I ever make enough money, I'm going to open up other trailers that I can go into liberal towns and put the trailers there and give away free coffee and have conversations with people about politics. You know how long it takes me to serve a cup of coffee here? And I don't even serve it. They pour their own damn coffee. You know how long before that customer comes in and leaves? About 22 minutes. You know why? Because we're talking about life. We're talking about politics. We're talking about everything else. And that's it. And everybody can do it. You can all do it, because you all know someone right now that doesn't like Donald Trump for whatever reason. You all know someone. Some of you said you lost family over it. That's fine. It's not fine that you lost family, but it's fine. Talk to those people and continuously try. You're not going to get through to them in some. I keep talking about the family member that Donald Trump choked Secret Service agents. Even though they know it's false, they still believe it. There's nothing I'm going to be able to do to change that person's view, because they are just dead set on believing nonsense. And then you move it on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And you keep talking about people, talking to people, and about people, and doing that. And that's the only way we are going to save this country. It's not about civil war, or, gearing up, or, beating the other side into submission. No, it's not, dude. Someone said, invite Antifa over to a talk. Fuck Antifa. They're domestic terrorists. They're a whole nother level. You don't talk to domestic terrorists. Okay, you don't. Okay, and I love how people do that as to like discredit what I'm saying. They'll try to take Antifa are domestic terrorists. They're killing people. They're burning buildings down. I'm not going to have this conversation with Antifa. I'm going to fucking fight from the moment I see them, because that is what you do to protect yourself. You know what I mean? They're not there to talk. There's a difference. You can have conversations with people. And that's the truth. And if you want to go to New York City on Tuesday, I'll be honest, I was thinking about going. I was trying to figure out if I could manage it between going there and then driving all the way to Waco. I was trying to figure out if I could do it, and I don't think I can. I haven't even decided if I'm not going to yet. But I'd rather not go to New York and then have him not, turn himself in or whatever, have him not be arrested that day, and then, waste all the time and money and resources to get up there. Do you know what I mean? And that's the truth. Someone said, with people, not liberals. Yeah, but liberals are people. You guys got to understand that. Stop with that defeatist attitude. And that's what I swear I'm going to start doing that. You know, I'm going to swear I'm going to start calling anybody that's willing to throw up the fight. So we're not talking to liberals. Okay, you're a defeatist. You don't care about watching this country succeed. And I'll be honest, I'm going to say that to everybody. And it's going to be really obnoxious and annoying, and people are going to hate it, and they're going to be offended. And you know what? You should be. You should be offended. You should be offended that you're giving up on your fellow American. Because your fellow American isn't just someone that wears a conservative or, you know, wears a Trump t-shirt. Your fellow American is that person that you despise because of their political ideology. Your fellow American is that person whose ideology, whatever it is, that you hate. That's your fellow American. When you remember that, that's when you can call yourself an American, working hard to try to make sure everyone else prospers. You know? And that's it. And I'll be honest, if you actually think about it, some of you guys may be like, damn, what the fuck? Like, Steve, what? That man, he got all hippie. What? He smoked some herb and he's waving around patchouli? What? Yeah, I'm saying it. You got to talk to people, bro. That's it. We're not going to get anywhere. And you know what? It's the one thing we haven't tried. Think about that. It's the one thing we haven't tried. We tried to beat each other into submission. We tried to beat the left into submission. We have news outlets that only report on conservative viewpoints. We don't even have political opinions. We don't have those discussions anymore. They don't even debate in Congress. Think about this, guys. We don't do it. And that's the truth. Ninja Reaper said, have fun talking to the blue-haired, confused gender types. Okay, defeatist. That's fine. I will. You know why? Because that's what an American does. And it's just like making the cold calls. Maybe I'm not going to get through the first 10 or the first 16 or the first 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 people. If I get through to one, it's like why I do this show every day. It's why I do this show every day. I do this show. I have hundreds of people watching every single day. I don't do this show to get people to agree with me or to appease everyone. I only do this show every single day. This video is not monetized. Today during this show, I've been live for 53 minutes. You know how much money I've made doing this show right now? Nothing. It's not monetized. I've received no cash apps, no super chats. No one's bought anything from the store since I've been live. I've made nothing doing this. You know why I do this and what the gratification is? Every now and then, I see something in the chat where someone's like, I agree. Or, wow, I see your point now. Or I get messages after. I get comments on the YouTube videos and say, listen, I don't really agree, nor do I comment, but I completely understand what you're saying there. And that's why I do this. Because I feel like it's my job. It's my duty. And it's your responsibility. And I keep saying duty, and it kind of makes me chuckle in my head every single time because I've got a 7-year-old. And so whenever I say duty in the house, he's like, duty. And it makes me, so I'm like a kid when it comes to that. And that's it. And I believe that, you know, and I believe that's what everyone should aspire to do is to talk and change and affect people. And I firmly believe I'm going to do that as the spare time allows, you know, I'm truly, I don't know. I'm hoping for a couple of big things to line up and get a loan so I could do that coffee trailer, because then I'll put the coffee trailer in a different location every single day and be out there, and I'll have cameras and I'll talk to people every day. Coffee, you know, conversations with coffee, and we'll talk about politics. We'll talk about life every single day, and I'll give away free coffee, and then I'll sell the coffee and all that because it's amazing. And once it's like addicting, it's like crack, right? You know what I mean? So once you try it, you just keep buying it, you know. But that's it. And that's the truth, you know, and I'm going to keep doing it. You know, someone said, is anyone a liberal here actually for the first time? We have a lot of liberals that watch. They won't watch the show. They won't comment. They won't. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them. Randy Weingarten is one large POS. You can't have Dr. Seuss or Tom Sawyer, drag queen story hour, and transgender studies. Okay, people of both parties should be upset over the arrest of political enemies. Okay, Mo Freedom, have you not listened to anything I've just said? No shit. No shit. Drag Queen Story Hour is quite a bit different than transgender studies. Drag Queen Story Hour is quite a bit different than drag queen shows. Drag Queen Story Hour is quite a bit different than cross-dressing people that are dancing seductively. It is. And if you don't see the difference, then you are part of the problem. Educate yourself. That's it. Educate yourself. It's quite amazing. But that right there, Mo Freedom on YouTube, defeatist attitude. Because again, you're not willing to listen to anything. You can go out and talk about one large POS, and to be honest, guys, I'm guilty of it too. I do it all the time. I shit on politicians. I shit on people in general. I literally. I was looking at a picture of who's that? Keith Olbermann. I'm like, that dude is 100% on meth, which is completely contrary to everything I just said during the show. You know what I mean? Treat others with respect and all that. But I'm not perfect either. But I firmly believe we can help people. And we can help people that understand what's best for this country, And the reason why I think Donald Trump is best for this country at this point is simply because of what happened today. And the sheer fact that this fucking dude, for whatever, all his faults, he will not stop. And it's not about being, powerful, because we already talked about in this video. He could be far more powerful doing other things. We already outlined them all, So on Wednesday, I'm going to be leaving here, driving down to Waco, Texas. Okay, and I'll be down there Friday and Saturday. And so I'm going to be at the Trump rally during the beginning, and I'll walk around and I'll do a live stream for about 3 hours, interviewing people and recording some content. Friday night, if you're anywhere, if you're going there, or you want to go there, or you don't want to go to the Trump rally, but you'll be near Waco and you want to hang out, I may just post online and say, hey, I'm going to go to this restaurant or bar or whatever, and if anyone wants to come hang out for a while, we could do that. And then Saturday, I'm going to do there, and then when the rally actually starts, I'm going to do what I do every rally, because I don't wait in lines. I'm just going to get in my car and start driving home, and I'll listen to the rally on the way. And I already told the wife, I already asked the wife, I'll be honest, because it is a long time, and I thought about flying, but the plane tickets are fucking expensive, so I'm just going to drive down there. If you guys do want to support that trip and all the future endeavors that I'm going to do on this front, Cash App and Venmo are the way to do it. Cash App is $FreightBrokerLive, and the Venmo is just my name, @Steve Oatley. Or you could scan either of those two codes if you want. There's no obligation to do it. It's not tax deductible. It's not a nonprofit. This money is only going to be used for that. It's only going to be used to get me out to the different events. It's only going to be used for hotels and stuff like that, and travel. And then, to be honest, I'll probably end up making donations with this money if I don't use it during travel, because that's what I do anyway. And I should sometimes save it for myself for when I don't have any money, but I don't. I normally just like to donate it and do that. So if you guys want to do that, we've already made enough for the gas. Hotel is a little bit expensive because I want to get a better hotel in order to try to, I'm crossing my fingers and hoping the Trump team will stay at that hotel. So that's a plan. So if you want to support it, please do via the link in the chat. April is going to continuously spam that for the next 5 minutes while I talk about the statute of limitations, so people understand what the statute of limitations are for this, because there are statute of limitations in New York for felonies. So first, you got to understand what they're actually charging Donald Trump for. According to the grand jury, and according to what everyone is speculating, because nobody actually knows, it's a sealed grand jury, they're speculating that he's going to be charged with forging business documents or providing false business documents in an effort to cover up a crime, which makes it a felony by trying to cover up crimes. Shout out to William for that $10 cash out. I'm going to do my best, or Venmo. I'm going to do my best to call out everybody that does it as they come in too, because I appreciate it. Hold on, let me get that fixed back. Let me do that. Yeah. See that high-tech AI stuff there? Get the camera to feed in. So anyway, they're charging Donald Trump with, or allegedly, someone said, why not camp? Because the fuel. For the RV, I thought about taking the RV. My wife said I should take the RV because she likes, if I could get tired, I could just pull over and sleep right in the RV. At any point, it's not like I have to find a hotel or sleep uncomfortably in the car. And I may still take the RV, but my car can get there in about $350 worth of fuel, whereas my RV will take about $1,500 worth of fuel to get down and back. Although it's much more convenient in the RV, it'll be a lot. But I said if I make the $1,500, I will. All right, so let me go back and talk about this real quick. All right, so shout out to Amanda too for the Cash App. Amanda for the $25 Cash App, shout out. Teresa with a $50 Cash App, thank you. And again, all this money is just being used for and I'm going to be doing this a lot. My whole YouTube channel and YouTube persona is probably going to change into this. These street interviews, to talking about it, to trying to do interviews with people, Because that's why I changed the show to The Rational American, because I had a feeling this shit was coming. Because again, I think I also need to interview liberals and get liberal sides of things, liberal sides of education, liberal sides of this, because they are not the enemy. We are all Americans. We just have fucking drastically different ideas on how to do things and accomplish things. Trump team won't be coincidentally in an RV as well. Yeah, I know. Deborah with a $20 Venmo. Again, I think you sent one earlier, so I appreciate that. All right, so let me go on. Stacy with the $20 Venmo. Thank you. So let me go on and keep explaining this. So they're charging Donald Trump allegedly. This is what they're charging with allegedly. They're charging him with false business documents that are used to falsify business documents, right? And that's a misdemeanor in New York. It's a felony because they're saying they're being used in the commission of another crime, right? And what that crime they're alleging is election interference, right? Because they're saying that he paid off Michael D. or Michael Duzak, I believe, $20 via Cash App. Thank you, dude. The reason why they're saying it affected the election is because they're saying it's a hush payment to get her to not come public during the election, which would have affected the election, is what they're trying to present. The thing that I find interesting about this whole thing is the reason they're saying that they're charging him for providing false documents. Edith with a $20 Cash App, thank you. The reason why they're saying they're charging him with the false documents is simply because Michael Cohen, his lawyer at the time, who made the payments, was invoicing him, saying that the money that he was paying, all these little payments that he was paying, were going towards a retainer fee. So I don't know how they're able to do it. They must have some other thing, some other internal communications between Donald Trump and Cohen in order to even influence a grand jury to charge him, because otherwise anyone on a grand jury would be like, wait a second, if his lawyer is providing the invoice to Donald Trump saying that it's for a retainer and Donald Trump then pays that invoice, the payment from Donald Trump is literally for a retainer because it's coming from the attorney. What the state is saying is that there is no retainer agreement on file. It's stupid. Now, the bigger question that everyone wants to ask is the smoke screen, right? People's are not smoke screen. I read smoke screen in the chat, and it distracted me. Barbara with a Cash App. Sorry about that. Barbara or Mimas. Thank you for the $25 Cash App. Thank you. And the other part that I was trying to say, statute of limitations. Okay. New York has a 5-year statute of limitations for felony charges. So this payment apparently, happened in 2016. Statute of limitations would have ran out in 2021, excluding the fact the statute of limitations isn't for completion of prosecution. It's for the start of a case. So the statute of limitations didn't run out because they said they just started the case. And even if they started the case on the very last day of the 5-year mark, statute of limitations wouldn't apply because they are actively investigating Donald Trump. When they started this investigation, you could argue started when they started going after Michael Cohen, which I believe was in 2018. So that is why, that is the truth. So basically, I don't know how they are charging him with a crime that hasn't really been charged anywhere else. They don't get people for this. They didn't get Hillary Clinton. She paid a fine for doing virtually the same thing. And you could make an argument that, okay, well, it is. And everyone can make the argument, no, it's because he was conservative. They're not going to get a conviction because they would have to prove that the money that Donald Trump was sending was 100% for the purpose of impacting the election. There's no way they're ever going to be able to prove that unless Donald Trump has written on a napkin somewhere that Michael Cohen, the money I'm paying you is to pay off her so she doesn't speak and then I win the president of the United States. It's not going to happen. They're not going to get a conviction on this. And I'm not a lawyer, but I could say that with 100% certainty. Someone said it's technically a misdemeanor. It's not, because they have that escalate because it's used in the commission of another crime, which makes it a felony. So that would mean it's technically a felony. It could be a misdemeanor, but it's technically a felony because they are alleging that the payments to Stormy Daniels through Michael Cohen were paid to Stormy Daniels in an effort to get her not to tell her story to the public, which was in an effort to influence the presidential election. Now, it's important to realize the federal government also had this case and they decided not to prosecute. So, and that's very telling too. So it does tell a bias and all that stuff. And again, you can't go. No, people are talking about where the rally is. It's at an airport in Waco. It's at an airport on Saturday, March 25th. The airport's right there. It's like a regional airport, JR or something, I believe. But it's not at a convention center. It's outdoors. That's why they're basically taking as many people that come. And to be honest, I think the rally is going to be crazy. I think there's going to be a ton of people there, especially if he is in fact arrested this week. But that's the thing. And everybody, like, listen, everybody that wants to say, but they didn't arrest Hunter. They didn't arrest Hillary. We can't do that. Tamara with a $15 Venmo, thank you. We can't do that. We can't look at what they didn't do. They didn't go after Hillary. They didn't go after Hunter Biden. They're not going after it. We can't do that. We have to understand that anything Donald Trump does is going to be in the spotlight, and that's fine. The only thing we have to pay attention to is what is going on, the facts. And unfortunately, right now, there's so little information. Like with that person that kept saying in the chat over and over and over and over and over that don't believe Alvin Bragg. No one is Alvin Bragg hasn't leaked anything about this. They haven't leaked an arrest. They haven't leaked anything. The only thing, and there are leaks, but they haven't spoke publicly is what I meant to say. Alvin Bragg hasn't spoke publicly about anything that's going on. There's been a tremendous amount of leaks with this whole thing. It was leaked that they were having meetings with the federal government on yesterday. Do you know what I mean? Someone said you can't arrest Hillary because she wasn't guilty. Are you kidding? Come on, man. You're in the wrong chat. Hillary Clinton is really guilty. She literally smashed servers. How you could say she's not guilty, I don't know what you're saying. And didn't she just pay like a $10,000 fine or something? She did. You don't pay fines if you're innocent. When you settle things. They just don't charge her. They didn't charge anyone. Billy Mack said, Steve, you raised the gas money for your trip so far. Outstanding. Keep it going, folks, so we can help Steve to the rally and watch him live. Yeah, I mean, I'm going anyway at this point. And I was going anyway without all the people that are supporting. If you want to keep doing it, that's fine. You'll just get hotel rooms and stuff like that. And I probably won't even take the motorhome because I can get down quicker. Because I was thinking about staying a night in Nashville because I haven't been in Nashville in years. And so I was thinking about spending Thursday night in Nashville and then going as hard as I can on Friday. Or maybe, I was thinking about Memphis, but I'm like, are you kidding? People are getting shot all the time in Memphis, so I'm not going there. But if you want to support and you want to pay for gas or anything like that for this trip, you don't need to, but I am viewer supported, okay? So if you appreciate this content and if you like it, even if you send 10 or 15 bucks, it doesn't even matter. It helps. Or go to Pure Truth Coffee and buy a bag of coffee because that helps our company. But the money that I make via Cash App and PayPal or Cash App and Venmo, the money is staying there and it's going to be used for these trips and for when I do donations and stuff like that out to other people. Because it's just easier to maintain. It's separate already from everything else. And so that's it. But, and you know, it's a long drive. And people said, why didn't I fly? I'll be honest, I was looking at flights because it would make my life a lot easier because I wouldn't have to drive for, 40 hours, to be honest. But the flights are like $600 round trip. They don't have good hours flying in or out. There was only a couple of direct flights, which is surprising. You would think there'd be more direct flights here from Dulles to Dallas, because I guess that's the closest airport. I didn't look at any other airports, but yeah. So I don't know, and I may still do that, but likely not because it would be cheaper for me just to drive down, and then I'd have more time. So I don't know, but I don't know. But yeah, if you want to support it, I'll give you a shout out on the air live, just like I have been for everybody else, because I support all you guys. Because I thank all you guys for doing it. But you can do that via the links in the chat that April keeps putting in there. Someone said, plus you have to subject yourself to those nasty TSA checks. I don't care about the TSA checks at all. to be honest. Granted, I would have issues with the batteries because the battery packs that I have for my camera and all that stuff are a little bit bigger than what TSA allows. I did buy other ones that are supposed to be TSA approved, but the last time I tried to fly, they wouldn't let me with them, and I had to go back, and put them in the car. It sucked. But I always get to the airport early. But I don't know. I just don't like flying. It scares the shit out of me. Never liked flying. But Adam J may be a troll. No. Adam J is worried about a haunted house, aren't you, Adam? If that's a real one. I emailed Adam. Adam said airline tickets went up $150 in the past 20 minutes. I know. I checked earlier, and I'm not joking. They were like $670 from Dulles to Dallas. No joke. It's super expensive. The only thing is I'm going to be booking a hotel right after the show. Because the hotel I wanted, I know it was $179, and I'm like, it's gonna be way higher than that. Like right tomorrow. Because he just announced the rally, either last night or this morning. So but someone said we'll be watching Steve drink margaritas on the beach. There was an Airbnb that's like a little container. I did think about renting one of those and getting a little hippie and then because one of the views was really nice. Because you could sit on the deck. I could do a show with the sun coming down in the Texas night. I could do a show, set up lights there, and do a whole broadcast right there. I did think about doing that. But I figured being at a hotel where hopefully the Trump campaign is, and I could be like, hey, watch this video. I want to change some minds would help. But I'll be doing shows. I'm going to live stream the whole way there too. I'm going to live stream the whole way. Let me see what else is going on. Steve, how about taking a sidekick for the trip to help with expenses? My son asked if he could go, but he can't miss that much school because he was sick last week. He really wants to go to a Trump rally so bad. I said he will 100% go this weekend. Or not this weekend. He will 100% go to a rally this summer. He really, really wants to go, and he could be the little cameraman, or even better, he could do the interviewing. Like, the kid would love it. No motorhome, are you going to take your Ferrari, Porsche, or Yugo? I'm going to take my 2016 Chevy Malibu. Like motorhome, you think my motorhome's new? It's not. It's a 2014 Thor motor coach. Class C. Used to be one of those rental ones. like I don't know. People think I'm like stupid rich. I am not. I am just stupid, not rich. I have a store that gets no foot traffic. I have a nice studio, and I buy too much and shit, and I donate entirely too much money. That's just my life. Do you know what I mean? But Janine with a $50 Cash App, thank you. And he would do it. He would do it 100%. Be on camera asking people. So it said, steal at your brother and stop at your brothers and steal the vet. He's in the other direction though. He lives here, but I have another brother that lives like a third of the way between here and Texas, somewhere in one of those states. He doesn't have a vet though. DCA to DFW round trip right now is 300 to 400. The fuck it was. I just looked. What is DCA? I just looked. Google flights, but you have to look for the date, buddy. So it'd have to be the 24th and flying back on the 26th. No, yeah. So the Friday. Yeah, so you're looking at like if I flew right now, it's cheaper, but they all raise their prices. What the fuck? Why isn't it doing it? Because I did think about that, because it would be a lot easier just to grab a flight. Austin is closer to Waco, and it's a good airport. Yeah, but is it cheaper? Like if I do Dulles Airport, which is IAD, to, what is it, Austin? Austin, Texas. And then I got to do, what the fuck was I doing before? Let's watch. Let's see. Oh, fuck that. I may be flying. So is that just because it's Austin? How come Dallas, when I looked before, it said Dallas was quicker? Yeah. Well, I don't know why you're saying it. These are best apart. I'm also 305 pounds. I can't fit in a regular fucking airline seat. I gotta sit in more. Um, uh, I don't know. Maybe I will have to because this is like $494 round trip, and it is a direct flight. I think don't I have a Delta like thing when I used to be a business guy and fly all the time? Yeah, and then $600. Like here's one 600 $600. Just can't afford it. It just makes more sense for me to drive out there. You know, Ryan said $100. Thank you, dude. Ryan S. Thank you, bro. And the best part is I recognize a lot of these names, which kind of warms my heart a little bit. Like a lot of the people that are doing it, I recognize your names. So I know you're people that have been supporting us through the coffee or just supporting us for a really long time. I appreciate that. And I see a lot of people that are like, oh, we're happy you're back. Like we missed you, Steve. That irritates me a little bit, but maybe you're right. Maybe I was this way before and then I tried to mellow out and now it's not that I don't care anymore. Like that I thought that used to be my attitude. That I don't give a F anymore. That's not my attitude right now. That's not. My attitude is I care too much and I want everybody else to listen. You know what I mean? So the battery, I mean, I could get away with it because I switched from that big backpack to a smaller backpack, and then the batteries, I don't know where they are now. They're in here. I see them all the time. But let me try to get this thing to center itself again. But I don't know if Adam, if you're still watching, if you know the size limitations for TSA batteries, let me know. I don't like flying, so I am likely going to be driving no matter what. But what I may do is if I make enough, I may just take the RV instead. You know, I'll just leave a day earlier. I'll leave on Tuesday, right? Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'll still get the hotel on Friday. Maybe. Or I'll figure it out. But that's what I may do instead. But someone said just imagine how 150 watt hours. So Adam, do you don't remember it? Probably not. Where is that battery? I keep seeing it somewhere, and it's so out of place, and I don't know where it is. Oh, it's at home. Because the big battery that I have is not. That one TSA yelled at me, and I had to bring that out to the car the last time. They wanted me to throw it away. I was like, not happening. Take the RV, be comfy. Yeah, I know. The big S ones, I think it's 160. Yeah, the big S one, yeah. The one you're using in your packs, isn't that the same one? The one you're using in the Wonder things? But 150, right? I think that's why I bought the other ones. Let me see if I have it. Actually, it doesn't matter right now. I know I have two of them. I just don't. I know one's at home, and I can look around forever for the other one. But in all reality, I'm just going to use the little live view. Hopefully, we can get it working with the SRT and go with the big camera. And then Adam is going to look it up. He forgot, but he's going to look it up and try to find a push button HDMI switcher. So I have a camera on the backpack, and then I'll have the big camera, and so I could switch the big camera to the little camera because the big camera will be on wireless. It'll be with the wireless dongle. So that'll be wireless to the backpack, and then I could switch to the shoulder mount camera, and that can be when I'm walking around and interviewing or talking to you guys or something. Like, it's a good idea. But that leads me to another question. Adam, that won't work either. Well, I could do that. I could just plug in the Rode mics, one into each camera. Right? No, the receiver and well, whatever. I'll figure it out. I'll help you get it set up before you go. All right. Yeah, I mean, worst case, Adam can run the back end of it too, you know, because he already has the login to the server to fix it. But I'm gonna do so. I'm driving, and that's the benefit of driving too. Um, I'm gonna live stream. You know, I just wish I had another one of these little cameras that I have for the surveillance up front, because I'm gonna take that and put it inside the car. But I'm gonna live stream the whole way, so and test it with this, and it should stay live the entire way, so it should be good. But someone said, "Crap, you didn't think about the mics." Yeah, I know, right? That's the only, I mean, I could go hardcore and keep an ATEM in the backpack. Oh God, it would be cool to have the ATEM remote switch the ATEM from my thing, run the audio into the ATEM. Dude, I could do that, couldn't I? Is there an app that I can remote switch the? No, because it has to be connected to the network. Never mind. I could run my own network. I could from the AT&T router. I could plug that directly into here. It's getting too convoluted. we'll, we'll figure it out. That's too much. We'll figure it out. I don't know if I got a new one. It just started going. No, Ryan and Tamara, you were the last ones. I appreciate you guys. That was a Venmo and the Cash Apps. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. So what else? What else you guys want to talk about? I mean, I'm pretty talked out now. I had two good shows, but I am going to do this thing where ask me. That's what it should be. Ask me about it. You know, where we just talk about stuff. Kathy sent $200 for Rally Fund. Thank you, Kathy. So, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've kind of I don't think I've lost my way. I know some of you guys have said that lately, right? You didn't like it. I don't know. I just, dude, I care about America, man. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do my best to try to talk to so many people and do it. And it's going to be way out of my comfort level. So I'm not going to be good at it. Okay. Just so you guys know, in the beginning, I'm not going to be good at it. I'm good at talking on camera. Ask April. I'm shy in person. I'm not nice. I don't smile. I don't look really warm and comfortable for people to come up to. I'm a 6'1", 300-pound power lifter that's tattooed up and very often doesn't smile in public. So, you know, that's who I am. But we got to do stuff, man. We have to. We have to talk about what's going on in this country and educate people as much as we can. You know? Mima's Home said, "Can I promote PTC when I start my YouTube channel? No cost to you, waiting on Blueberry to arrive." Yeah, absolutely. We'll give you an affiliate code. You can make a commission on it. And your Blueberry price shipped today. Most of you guys got shipping notices today. Almost all the coffee. My boys are fine. They're hyper as crap and active and playing with their Oculuses, or one of them has an Oculus, but that's it. Yeah, I don't do hugs. We don't do hugs, but, you know. Someone said, Steve does what he says, what he believes in. Portland, kids basketball game. Mad respect. I don't know the basketball game that you're talking about. Are you talking about the football game when we drove up from Florida to the other place in Florida to go to the kids' football game? The Thin Blue Line, where they canceled that kid for the Thin Blue Line. So I had tried to get all of our viewers to go there. We did. We had 30 or 40 people show up there to support that kid. You know, it was pretty awesome. Nanner said, "Could I stop here on your way and give a frown to my neighbors?" Possibly. You know, I don't know. But my plan is, if you do go, my plan is to find a place in Waco that we can all just hang out on Friday night before, because I know a lot of people don't want to go to the rally. There were people that have met us, when I went out to Iowa, people that came out and met us at Iowa. And we went to dinner. I don't know how many people it was, maybe 10 or so. We all went out to dinner and just had a good time, you know, just talked about stuff. It wasn't even really about politics. We just talked about stuff. And then most of those people didn't even come to the rally. Well, yeah, a lot of them came to the rally, but some didn't come to the rally the next day. Adam said, "You do hugs, check earlier chat." No, Adam's lying. Adam's never gotten a hug. He may have gotten a dap, one of the high five things. Brian said, "Can't how much would you like 1,000 stars, which will get over 2 gallons of fuel, or would you rather buy me a bag of coffee or buy?" I'd rather you buy a bag of coffee. You know, I'd rather people not do the super chats or Facebook stars because you're just giving big tech your money. You know what I mean? That's it. But yeah, so I don't know. Just stay tuned. I'm gonna figure it out. But I was talking to my wife, and literally, if I got through to my wife and got her to say that if that was done, she would vote for Donald Trump, I'm like, holy shit, I'm on to something. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I know many of you guys watch my show all the time. And someone said, "What was DeSantis's tweet?" He didn't tweet, from what I saw, unless he did now. But he hasn't tweeted since before I started the show. He tweeted about hurricanes. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. No, does he have a personal Twitter? That's what it must be. Hold on. Ron. See, I said this too. This motherfucker, bro. Did he really not? He still has not. He tweeted about hurricanes before he tweeted about Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? See, he's he's killing his election right now. He is killing it. If he hopes to actually run for office, maybe this is proof that he was never hoping to run for national office. You know, maybe that's what it is. But wow. Wow. You know, again, last time promoting it. If you guys want to support my trip down to Texas and a get together, basically what I'll try to do is I'll use all the extra money that I make, and I may try to buy the food for the people. That's what I did when we went out to Iowa, I think. That's what I did also when we went to. So that's what I do all the time. I try to get people to go out. Like when we went to the rally in Lakeland, Florida. Remember that one? That was a long time ago. But we went out probably with 20 or 30 of us after the rally. We went out to eat then. So, and I think I tried to cover that one. So that's what I typically try to do, and just treat everybody, because I appreciate people coming out to those events, you know? But I'll do that on Friday. So I'm going to try to get there early, get checked into a hotel, relax, and then go to dinner somewhere on Friday and just hang out. And then I'll go to the rally. But I'm going to leave from the rally. So we're not going to live stream the actual rally. We'll live stream outside of the rally and do interviews and stuff in recording. And then, I don't know. Man, I wish I had, like, pisses me off. Like, I wish I had, like, this train of thought back with Citizen Stringer when it was at its peak. You know what I mean? Because instead of investing in all that fancy-ass technology, I could have just hired, like, a cameraman to go around and do, like, permanent man on the streets, like, every fucking day. Just go to a different place and interview people about politics, about current events, about life. Because that's truly what people need, is conversation and knowledge about what's happening. That's all people need right now. It's fucking crazy. You know, you live and learn. I don't know, maybe we bring Citizen Stringer back, and that's all we do. Just facts. Like, Citizen Stringer is either just the live streams or in the interviews, or just straight facts, like fact checks. And like no opinion, nothing. Just because that's what it's supposed to be. That's what people need. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Someone said you always like that name, the Citizen Stringer. Well, yeah, I trademarked it. So it's mine. So I own the trademark on Citizen Stringer. So no one can take that, even though the company's not, we're not doing anything with it. It's done. But Brianna Morello, who is a news producer, journalist, quit Fox News over the COVID vaccine. So, I don't know. She is saying that moments ago, Manhattan DA Alvin Bragg sent out an email to the members of his office saying, in the internal email, Bragg says, "We do not tolerate attempts to intimidate our office or threaten the rule of law in New York." He adds, "In the meantime, As with all of our investigations, we will continue to apply the law evenly and fairly and speak openly only when appropriate. Call bullshit to that shit. See, and I don't know who this lady is, Brianna Morello, so I don't know if that's true or not. Apparently she was a journalist that worked for Fox News. Michael Curran is spouting stuff. See, this is funny. Michael Curran, are you still in the chat? Because if you are, that's fine. You don't even need to comment. We're not going to attack you. Hopefully my Facebook mod can delete your comment. But I want to ask you a question. You believe MAGA, right? Do you know what MAGA stands for? It stands for Make America Great Again. Do you believe that phrase in itself is bad? Do you believe that the idea of making America great again is bad? Because if you believe that America wasn't never great, then you're un-American. But if you believe that America is not as great, we don't hold the potential right now that we could, to make America a great country, then I would say you're also not American. Or that if you don't believe that that's our obligation as Americans, if that makes sense. He made this whole thing talking about Trump cults and MAGA this and MAGA that. Like, listen, you can say that if you want, but MAGA is not bad. MAGA, and you should, as a Democrat, as I'm guessing you are, you should believe in the idea of making America great again. You should. And if you're worried about saying again, just say make America great, because that's what everyone that lives here and works here and thrives here is or struggles here is supposed to do. We're all supposed to hope for making America great. That's it. And if you disagree with that premise, then I would say, why are you here? And that's the truth, And so when people come into the chat and they're trying to be like, MAGA this, MAGA terrorists, MAGA cults, it's fine. You don't know what it is, And that's it's sad, bro. Everyone is a MAGA person. Everyone is. If you believe that this country should be the best country in the world, if you believe this country should be the land of opportunity, if you think this country should be the land of excellence, then you also are a MAGA person. Because I truly believe that's what it means. It doesn't mean a political party or an ideology or anything else. Yeah, it has been kind of convoluted to being that, but it's not done by the right. It's done by the left. The left is the one who coined that whole thing. Donald Trump said, he wants to make America great again. That was his slogan. They made that a bad thing. Donald Trump didn't make that a bad thing. And that's the truth. And so you can say MAGA this, MAGA cult this, or whatever. Okay, you should be in it too, if you are an American. If you're not, why comment? That's the truth. Are people asking, April, I think people are asking for the Venmo and stuff. I'll put this up on the chat, which is the Cash App right there, Freight Broker Live or Venmo. And again, I'm using this money purely to do the trip to Texas, and all the other ones. Like, I may go in when there's like things in DC. I live 2 hours away from DC. I may go outside of the White House and do interviews with people and talk to people. I'll try to do as much as I can of it as live. But I think that's what people need to do, is just talk to people and have conversations with people. I should have been doing it for a long time. I really should have. Because I'll be honest, I've been burning out of doing the same talking points and talking about all the negative shit all over the country. Because here's the thing, I could talk about breaking news and be like, hey, did you hear about the breaking news of this story with somebody else and get their context and their insight on it. Unfortunately, even with this studio, we're so remote in this small ass town. Granted, we're like an hour away from the biggest location, and 2 hours away from DC. It's still small, Shit, I can't even get Ben Klein, my representative, to come in. But that's the truth, man. Anarchy Princess is live yelling at Trump supporters. Cool. But yeah, if you guys want to support this at any point during the show, you could do so. The Cash App, Freight Broker Live, or Venmo, Steve-O, you could scan either of those. We've done pretty well. So I'm going to book this hotel before I go home. Or should I drive the RV? I haven't decided, man. Some of you guys, you guys want to know the real issue with the RV, because I could still live stream in the RV and all that stuff, and it's comfortable. The real issue with the RV for me, I don't fit in the shower. So I still have to get a hotel. And if I'm like, I still have to get a hotel, then I could save more money by and still get another hotel on the way to break up the trip and shower and all that stuff and not have to sleep in the car and still spend less money than it would be just to take the RV down there. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't fit in the shower. I do. I can't move. So you know how like normally you like put your head and you turn around. I can't do that. I got to use the wand when I want to turn around. I have to put the wand back up, shut the water off, get out, turn around, and then get back in, and then kind of grab it because I'm too wide for the shower. I know the camera doesn't do a lot of justice. I don't think, but yeah, that's the deal. So Michael Pop said truck stop showers. Not if I can. No, not if I can avoid truck stop showers. I never want to go to them. Someone said, I commend you for continuing to do this. I always wanted to, but never pulled the trigger on it. It's the difference between the people that accomplish great things and those that don't. Keep at it, bro. Yeah. Someone said, it's still not working. What's not working? What is not working? Someone said, park your RV in a hotel lot. Yeah, I thought about that. Someone said, take the car. I know, it'll be a better drive and more comfortable for me, to be honest, in the car. But yeah, but if you guys want to support it, you can either do the Cash App, Venmo. If you want to get something for your money, besides content and all that, go buy a bag of coffee. puretruthcoffee.com. It's amazing. It's our coffee is the best coffee you've ever had. I can guarantee that. And if you're someone that's just like completely loaded with dough and you really want to help, I need about $6,000 to finish the trailer. So, and then once that trailer's done, then that's a coffee trailer where we're going to give away free coffee because we already do that. Our coffee shop, I keep saying we have a coffee shop here. It's a free coffee shop. We give away free coffee, tea, and hot chocolate every day. But I want to do that with the trailers and go out to other places. And I need about $5,000, $6,000 to build a kitchen inside essentially, and then install cameras. So then when we go set up, there'll be a sign, it says free coffee and everything. And then all the conversations will be recorded. And then after I'll say, hey, can I air it? I'm in a single party consent state, so I don't need it anyway. But someone said you were going to buy, but it says sold out. Our blueberry may be sold out now. But yeah, but anyone wants to do that, that's it. Someone said the truck stop showers have nothing on it. Venmo isn't working. I'm not quite sure why. My username is right here, at Steve Oatley. At Steve Oatley is what the username is. The @ Steve Oatley, all one word. It's literally right there. Or you could take your phone, if you're watching this on something other than your phone, you could take your phone and scan that code. Open up your camera and scan that code, and it will go right to my page. That's why it's the easiest way to do it. But whatever. Freedom Flashpoint would require security for Steve at the RV broadcast area to secure equipment so he could do what he does. Need 2-man team needed, but it would be the best way. Yeah, but no. See, that doesn't really work either. Okay, because they won't give me press passes to the Trump rallies. I've only gotten press passes once. Adam has got them a couple of times, but I've only gotten them once, and that was for Portsmouth back in early 2020. And it was the one in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, that was canceled. So I drove halfway there, and then my viewers started texting me, because at that time it was just Freight Broker Live. And they started texting me and saying, no, like, don't go. They canceled it because of horrible weather. And that was the only one I ever got press credentials for. We've talked to them. We brought the motorhome to other ones. They actually stood on top of the motorhome taking pictures of the rally size because there were so many people. We sold shirts. We've given away coffee at those events. I don't even want to do that anymore. I just want to interview people, talk to people, walk around, and that's it. We'll do everything else. Someone said, I don't see where you order coffee. It's puretruthcoffee.com. We'll put the link in the chat. And then I'm going to end this so I can get home. We've been, how I said we cut out cookies and soda. Well, we cut out soda and packaged cookies. My wife or I have been making cookies. And it's good. But I just saw something. But they ran out of the cookies that I've been having. And so they ended up sending us cookies. Just got a Venmo. Let me give a shout out to Sean with a $10. Thank you, dude. You said you've unblocked. Yeah, but I don't know what your name is, Sean. Apparently, Sean is blocked on YouTube and he can't comment, but he's been watching forever. Someone said I need $6,000 because I like Arby's. Yeah, yeah, we'll do it. There's a link right there in the chat. If because you can also buy, because in addition to coffee, we sell patriotic apparel bundles that come in ammo cans. We sell our coffee bundles. We sell everything. We actually still have the limited. We only have seven of them left. The mini bundle. If you go to Pure, I'll put it in the chat. Mini ammo can bundle. We only have some sizes left, but this is what you could do. Baba Booey said, "You get my 10." I don't know. Just the names I said. Those are the ones I got so far. It hasn't updated. So, Sean Ferris, is that your name on YouTube? April, if do you want to unblock Sean Ferris? If you can. I don't think I got a 10. Not yet on Cash App. It could be pending, but I'm not logged in there yet. I'm just seeing the text messages. So this link in here for the ammo cans, if you want it, and then I gotta go, guys. But this link for the ammo can, we only have 7 of these ammo cans. So if you try to get a large and it doesn't work, buy a small, and then write in the comments when you check out, you can leave a comment, write that you wanted an extra large, and I can put the extra large shirts. But because we only have 7 cans left, we have plenty of shirts and coffee and apparel and all that, but we only have 7 cans. And because I wanted to spread them out, so I could do it that way. So if you want to buy one of the cans, these mini ammo cans, they're 30 caliber ammo cans, U.S. surplus cans. They come with a bag of coffee, a random bag of coffee, a patch hat, stickers, patches, and a book written by one of our viewers, First Line of Defense, Inside the Border Patrol by James R. McFadden. He spent, I think, 25 years in the Border Patrol. He sent me this book a long time ago, to be honest. And Sean, I got the YouTube name. April is Bass God. If you can unban that name, April. Bass God. BASSGOD. He's probably been banned for a long time because I don't even recognize his name. I recognize your name though. but yeah. So if you wanna buy one of those bundles, like I said, I have 7 of them. All coffee orders. If you order coffee between now and Monday, it'll ship before I go to Texas. I'll put something on there that says, and all the monthly coffee club members and the yearly and 6-month coffee club members, I'll make sure all of those orders are out prior to I go. Sheila Kelly said, I like strong black coffee. Anyone have recommendation? If you like really dark coffee, Italian roast is the darkest coffee you've ever seen. It's literally about as dark as my phone. Our Victory or Death is also a dark roast. Flying High is also a dark roast. Flying High has a lot of caffeine, though. Don't drink if you have heart issues. My favorite now is the Frank 01. It's a brand new one. You may recognize Frank 01 because it was a call sign that shot down the Chinese spy balloon over South Carolina. I needed a name for a new coffee roast, so we chose that. Awake Not Woke is our bestseller, French vanilla. And now I will say that our new favorite coffee, not mine, but everyone else's favorite coffee, the blueberry cobbler, but we're currently sold out of that, and I won't have that until after I get back from Texas. So, but our blueberry cobbler, I can't keep it in stock. I think I've gone through 60 pounds already in, 2 weeks? Yes, Bass God is blocked. If April's working on it. I think she's still in the chat. She'll get it for you. I think. Hopefully she's in the chat. I'll open up Slack and just ask her if she is. And then I'm going. Bass God on YouTube can unlock, please. BASSGOD is what it's called. Bass God. That's what he sent me. All right, guys. I gotta take off. She's gonna try to find you, Sean, and fix that Bass God. And yeah. And I appreciate all of you guys for watching. I I always say I'm not going to be live the next day, and then I go live. So we'll start with the same premise that I'm not going to be live tomorrow, just so you guys all know that there is a race. So I'm going to watch that. So I may or may not be live, but likely May, because I got to come here anyway tomorrow, even though we're not open on Sundays. But I have to come to Woodstock to wash my wife's car, and I may take my kids. If I take my kids, I will not do a show. If I don't take my kids, there is a likelihood that I may pop in and do a live stream tomorrow during the day. But I appreciate all you guys for watching, and I will I'll see you guys either today or Monday. I'm gonna work on doing the live stream and getting that all set up. But as of right now, the plan is for me to leave on Wednesday, because that means if I drive 8 hours on Wednesday, right, and then find a cheap hotel somewhere, drive 8 hours on Wednesday, because I'll be tired at that time, and then I'll probably drive the rest the next day, because I'll be tired. But that means, yeah, I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'm either leaving Wednesday or Wednesday night. I'm either leaving Wednesday day or Wednesday night. I just don't know yet. The shitty part is I have a dentist appointment on Thursday. I have to move. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I will see all of you tomorrow or Monday, and then Tuesday, and then I'll just be going live from the car on Wednesday, and then I'll do shows all at night every night when I finally do stop. So I appreciate all you guys for hanging out, and I will see you. Of course, this show, I almost forgot. Sorry, guys. This show is sponsored by Switch to America. If you want to switch to American-made products in your home, like literally, you could save money and support American-made companies by simply going to switchtoamerica.com, filling out the form on the page, choosing my name, Steve Oatley, as a person who referred you. Someone will call you. They'll run you through a survey where you can list all the products you use in your home, and they'll tell you how you can replace those products with American-made, American-owned products and save money. How about them apples? Okay? So go over to switchtoamerica.com, sign up now, and someone will contact you within like 48 hours. All right? I appreciate all you guys. I will see all of you either tomorrow or Monday. All right? Bye. And thank you guys for everyone who contributed for the fuel fund and all that. I really